A YouTube stunt went terribly wrong. Now there is a couple who have a baby together. It's Mona Lisa Perez and her boyfriend Pedro Ruiz wanted to get famous by doing a stunt where she shot him while he was holding a book in front of his belly. Their thought was that the bullet would stop the gun. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. He was shot and he was killed. And why did they do it? They said they wanted to get famous. According to the aunt of the guy who was shot, she said he had told me about the idea and I said, don't do it, don't do it. Why are you gonna use a gun? Why? And then according to an eyewitness, they said everyone was crying. I was standing behind a tree over there. And what was it? I just couldn't take it anymore, so I had to go back home. Like, people were standing around watching this happen. I mean, they said they wanted to do it to get famous, but like, can you imagine being there?
You know, they had a vlogging channel. They vlogged because they were teen parents and they were just sort of sharing their journey together. And I think that's what makes it especially tragic is that they had a following of people who knew them and followed their stories. And it's a tough YouTube climate. And I think that the idea behind it was, a way to get views, maybe go viral, and it just ended in
death.
Tragedy.
Well, they're famous now.
Yeah, but it's awful.
It's like a Pyrrhic victory, yes. Everyone died, but to become famous, is that the saying, Pyrrhic victory?
I don't know. I've heard it before.
Yeah, Grace, you're right. The YouTube climate is super hot. It's super hard to get views. It's super hard to get noticed on YouTube because there's so many people trying to be on YouTube with algorithms, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, I get they wanted to be famous. Remember we reported on the lady who had the fake Shark Tank video a couple weeks ago? The porn star. So it's like that could have went horribly wrong too. Luckily it didn't. But it's like people need to be more aware and smarter and know that it was a caliber. Yes, the gun was.
It was a 50 caliber weapon held 30 centimeters away from the guy, which is 1 foot. As neighbors gathered to watch outside their Minnesota home.
So if these people watch their vlog, they seem to be present in what they're doing and have some common sense. You would think that they would Google what a 50 caliber is capable of, and then
test it. Test it on the book first. Do you think David Blaine just shows up during his magician acts and says like, I don't know, let's give this a shot? No, you have to work through it, make sure that it's actually gonna happen. It's just, this is in line. These kinds of things are just in line with that father who had the kids and then he lost his children because he was mentally abusing them, daddy of 5 and mommy of 5. Like those people think no further than, oh, this sounds like the kind of thing that'll go viral. But you need to take everything into consideration. It sounds like a farce. It sounds like a Black Mirror episode, like this kind of thing happening.
Yeah, no, it really does sound like a Black Mirror episode because it is so eerie, and she's being charged with manslaughter, and she faces like a $20,000 fine.
Which is crazy. Like she's been through enough, and I don't think she's a danger to society. No. I think that's her consequences.
But there are consequences for your action. I agree with you. I don't think she's a danger to society, and no matter how you look at this, it's a tragedy.
Right.
But I think just the weight of it on top of it is that she lost her significant other, her partner in life,
her child's father,
and now she is losing her life. And this kid, who I don't know how many kids they had, but now the mother is locked up as well. I mean, this is it. But I feel everyone loses here.
I feel like 19, you're old enough to know better.
Brett, I mean,
you have a kid.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what it comes back to, common sense. I mean, you're not a superhero. You're not going to stop bullets with bracelets. You should know better. I think this is a cautionary tale for a lot of people that want to do these freakish experiments for YouTube. Is it worth your life? Is it worth someone else's life? No, it's not.
And it's weird. One of the people described it as a prank gone wrong. It's not a prank. Like this is one of those things where people misunderstand what they're even watching and what they're even going for, and it's just. Put a little more thought into it, do some research, make sure something like this doesn't happen. I mean, I wanted to ask like, what's the weirdest thing you would do for fame, but that feels wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Speaking of wildly inappropriate, what's the weirdest thing you would do to get famous? Give us your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think of this? Are we wrong? Are we missing something? And we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.